the same or not the same tree. Today we are going to solve same tree task on Leetcode. Our task is return true if the trees are the same and false if they are not. In the first example, trees are the same. In the second example, trees have the same values but different structures. And in the last example, trees have different values. First, we will write a depth-first search solution. Our function will call itself. This is what we call a recursive solution. The function will repeatedly run itself to check the structure and values of the trees. We need to recursively check both the left subtree and the right subtree. We'll use the logical AND operator to determine if both subtrees are identical. Now we need to consider a few cases. If both nodes are null, it means we have reached the end of the both trees and we return true. Then continue to iterate with our function. If one of the nodes is null and the other is not, it means our trees are not the same and we should return false. So it will be almost the same as the first if statement, but instead of AND we'll use OR. And similarly, if the values of the nodes are different, it also means the trees are not the same. So let's just compare the first value and the second value. If they are not the same, we return false. And that's all for the DFS solution. So let's run it and check it. Let's maybe change our window and let's open our test cases and everything is green. Now let's submit our solution. And it works as well. The time complexity is ON and space complexity in worst case is ON as well, where n is the number of the nodes in the trees. Now it's time to write our iterative solution. It will follow a similar approach to the recursive solution we discussed earlier. To ensure clarity, let's keep the previous solution in mind as we proceed. We'll use the if data structure, which we will implement using an array in JavaScript with default value of 2 nodes. Our main loop will run while there is data in the if, and by the end, if all conditions are met, we'll return true. So let's write that we'll run our while loop when if length is more than 0, and let's return true if all conditions are met. Let's define our logic within the loop. We'll have two variables, node 1 and node 2, which will hold the nodes deused by our shift operation, where node 1 will be a node from the first tree and node 2 will be the corresponding node from the second tree. Our chain logic is the same as before. If both nodes are null, we'll continue our loop. If one of the nodes is null, we return false, as the trees are not identical. So let's reuse our if statement from the previous solution and let's change just our naming here. And instead of return true, we just continue our loop. Now let's reuse our two if statements and just change our naming here. So instead of p we will have node 1, instead of u we will have node 2. So let's add these two if statements here and change our naming. And it will be enough for our solution. If you have any questions, please ask them under the video. And here we need to change our last variable. I guess that it should be enough. Let's run our solution and let's open it, and something went wrong. Oh, I think that I know when we have the mistake. Let's remember to add the left and right children of each node to the if, because right now we have only 2 elements in the if. This step is the same as what we did in the DFS approach, but is adapted for an iterative method. So in the first push we will have node 1 left and node 2 left, and in the second push we will have almost the same, but we will have node 1 right and node 2 right as well. So let's change it, and as I said previously, this step is the same as what we did in the DFS approach. But instead of recursive, we have iterative approach. Looks like Everything is done, and let's run our solution just to be sure that everything works. And something went wrong. I guess yes, we don't have any node. Here we will have node 1. And let's rerun it. Now everything is green. Let's submit it, and it works as well. That's all for this video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Bye.